What minor injury hurts like a MF? I'm putting acne on this list. It's not necessarily an injury, but it's real common and can hurt terribly. Especially when a few spots get really irritated and can feel like you're being stabbed if there's any pressure or you move weird. My wife has this thing where her eyes dry out while she's asleep. On 2 separate occasions now, her eyeball has stuck to the inside of her eyelid, and when she opened her eyes in the morning it peeled a piece of tissue off the outer layer of her eyeball. Extremely painful, but not all that serious relatively. Brain freeze/ice cream headache. Charlie horses, you know how some yogurt and cottage cheese containers have foil covers? I once managed to get a paper cut on one of those. Hurts even worse than when it's a paper cut from thin, sharp cardboard. Costochondritis hurts like an MFer. Basically, it's an inflammation of the cartilage that connects a rib to the breastbone. Can be caused by trauma or muscle strain. Common in people with fibromyalgia or any other inflammatory disease. The fact that toothache is not easily number 1 demonstrates the demographic of Reddit. It's a cut-it-off/pull-it-out pain that before you have felt it firsthand, you think only actual torture can make you feel that way. I would not wish it on anyone, and if someone you know currently has it, cut them some slack. It is completely debilitating, and that person has not slept since it started. Getting the wind knocked out of you. Hitting your funny bone. Burning the roof of your mouth with pizza, and having to deal with it for the following few days until healed. When one single taste bud gets swollen. Kidney stones, so I hear. Getting lightly kicked in the balls. Neck stingers. Not sure if it counts as an injury, because it never seems to be a lasting thing, but a yawn, stretch, or just a simple change in body position while sitting or laying can occasionally trigger them for me, and it's like a lightning strike going down my neck. Then everything is fine. Hitting your ingrown toenail. Zit inside nose or ear. Splinter in your pee-pee. Hitting or falling on your tailbone full force. Paper cuts, half the time you don't notice till you use the hand sanitizer. Jamming your finger. A pimple on the inside of your nose. When you pull out and go back in at the wrong angle, and it doesn't hit the intended target. Canker sore on the tip of your tongue. Getting flicked, not kicked, in the balls. I would much rather have someone take a set of steel toes and kick me as hard as they can in the junk, rather than a light little flick. Hitting your shin on the shopping cart. Biting your tongue accidentally. Ingrown toenail. I wasn't clipping the edges well enough. And as much as it hurt limping around, getting it fixed at the podiatrist would bring tears to a Navy SEAL. Not an injury per SE. But cutting your finger/toenails extremely short. Mother flipper dude. The gout. If you've had it, you know. Currently going through it now, feels like a broken ankle. Not technically an injury, but dental cavities/abscesses can be some of the worst pain. Like cause suicidal ideations. Tearing your cuticle instead of clipping it. And somehow never learning the lesson and doing it again like a month later. Does a broken heart count as minor? Scooter to the ankle. A hair sliver, I'm a barber. Nail being ripped off. I got stung by a wasp once and my god. Sack getting tapped. Fearful face. Did anyone say stepping on a Lego or stubbing your toe? Sciatica tear. It feels like an insignificant pop. But you will be out for a week and feeling the aftershocks your whole life it seems. Tired face. When you chew a Dorito that somehow orientated itself vertically, stabbing you in the roof of the mouth. Hitting your pinky toe against something like a door. Funny bone, insert uncle asking if it was funny. Bra clasp under a fingernail. The slightest knock to an unsuspecting testicle. Trigger finger. A bruised tailbone. Mostly because you don't realize how much of your life you spend sitting down until it happens. And then it's just absolute hell. Brain freeze. I'm honestly shocked I haven't seen this in the top comments yet. Those small cuts which appear on your hand when you decide to use sanitizer. Hot glue gun burn. Getting a cut or scratch on your elbow. A bonk to the shin. Getting gravel stuck in your knee. I fractured the tip of my pinky finger. Didn't look like it hurt. But Jesus. Took 6 weeks to heal. A paper cut across your urethra. Anything involving fingernails or toenails. Paper cut in the finger crotch. Anything to do with fingers and toes, or fingernails and toenails. Those little tiny skin things that peel off at the edge of the fingernail. Smashing your finger with a hammer, bonus points if you do it twice in the same spot. Stubbing your toe with an infected ingrown toenail. I still remember the explosion of stars behind my eyes. Stepping on a Lego. Runner-up hand sanitizer and all those invisible cuts on your hands. The black lung is one of the worst minor injury I can think of. Sack tap. Anything involving your ear. Just a tiny bit of irritation from loud music and it's unbearable. I just sanded the side of my fingertip off almost down to the bone with a flapper disc the other day at work. Hurts a whole lot worse 3 days later than when it happened. A paper cut located just right or wrong at where the joint is so it stretches every time you flex your finger. Sleeping on your neck wrong. Day 2 and my neck still hurts, weary face. Wiping your eye after dicing jalapenos. Pinky toe on a coffee table. Bruised rib. Canker sores. I get them often and they are unbelievably painful. When you poop your pants a little bit and you're 30 years old. Your feelings are injured. Ingrown toenail. Tennis elbow. Heartbreak. The good old scooter to the leg. A pinched nerve. I started vomiting from something that was basically all in my head, faced with tears of joy. Why is nobody mentioning a scooter hitting your ankle? When your facial hair sticks at your zipper when you turn your head. That tiny skin peeling below fingernails. When your crush asks for your roommate's number. The funny bone, aka the syntax error. Ingrown toenail. Anything when you're already cold. Stubbing cold fingers on anything. When you pull a hangnail but it tears up your finger instead of off of it. Kidney stones. Wind-chapped lips. Foot cramps to the point where you can't uncurl your toes, loudly crying face. Pulling a loose bit of skin next to your nail and it accidentally peeling way too far up. Falling on your tailbone. Really chapped lips. Sneezing so hard your arm and shoulder gets a horrible sharp pain for like 30 seconds. When you jump, not necessarily from high, and land stiff, without letting your knees serve as an amortizer, and in the result perineum area hurts AF. Don't know if women feel that or not, but most men should be familiar with it. Accidentally hitting your elbow on an edged surface. You ever get a cramp in the muscle under your chin from yawning too big? That. I jammed my big toe on vacation a few weeks ago. Hell hath no fury like a jammed big toe. Finger jam. Muscle spasms in the back. Basically like a cramp you would get in your calf, but in your lower back. Stepping on a Lego without socks on. Absolutely tragic. When you play with a scooter and accidentally whack your ankle. Tiny skin peeling off on the side of your fingernail that you pull slightly too much. I'm worried if I keep pulling I'm going to peel my entire body like an orange. Rolling your ankle. Funny bone strikes. Ripping the skin on your cuticles. Bumping your shin on the metal bed frame or the trailer hitch on your car. Shin versus coffee table at full speed. Paper cut on the tip. When this little skin thing next to your fingernail gets removed. Stepping on Legos or a plug with the pins pointing up. That stupid piece of skin next to your fingernails that suddenly decides to peel off. Stepping on a Lego barefoot. Hitting the back of your ankle. Whenever you cut and lift up the skin that meets your nail, then every time you reach in your pocket it lifts up the skin a bit more. Razor scooter to the shins. You ever stubbed your toe? I got the salty chemical which is put on the streets to thaw the snow, stuck to my ankles while running in snow. Burned for a week like a slow melting candle, dropping wax on your skin. That peel near your fingernails. Paper cuts in on the backside of your hands or elbow, rug burns. Breaking a nail, but especially when it breaks down past the fleshy part. It hurts so bad and takes a long time to grow back out. Anything involving falling off moving object onto pavement/sidewalk. That burn for days. Getting things stuck under your fingernails, such as splinters or metal shavings. Paper cut on your eyeball. I know this from experiencing it a few weeks ago. Hitting your thumb with a hammer at the start of a workday. It's like the gift that keeps giving, cause you are sure to hit yourself at least 2 more times that day. Severing your thumb tendon. It doesn't look bad, but oh my god, the pain. And the recovery. It's just brutal. Stubbing a toe that was already swollen from an ingrown nail. Ripping your pinky toenail off to the cuticle. A cyst bursting in your uterus. My kids. Stubbing your toe as an adult is the worst. Somehow it hurts worse and for longer. I've hit mine so hard I could hardly walk in my work shoes for a week. Clipping your nails just a tad too short. Also getting lemon juice on a paper cut. Paper cut on the webbing of your fingers and toes. Paper cuts. Sometimes I don't even feel them, but get it wet or dare touch alcohol gel, it's agony. I got a paper cut under my fingernail 2 weeks ago, and it still hurts like hell. New dentures before you get the final adjustments. Those little pieces of loose skin next to your fingernails that appear once in a while to ruin your day. Smashing your fingernail or thumbnail with a hammer. When fingernails come off a bit much. Ripping off a cuticle area of the thumb. Peeling the piece of skin from the bottom of your fingernail. Vertical chip. An eyelash in your eye or something in the corner of your eyes. Or just me, because I have sensitive skin, and I am uncomfortable with certain texture. Stubbed toes. Biting your fingernail and tearing the flesh with it. Paper cuts. On your thumb. Really makes you appreciate your thumb and skin. Popping your knuckles incorrectly. Broken toe. Fractured my big toe 6 weeks ago, and it still hurts and is annoying. Broken toe. A pinch to the back of the arm/tricep. Accidentally hitting your thumb with a hammer in cold weather. Scratched cornea, heals quickly, but it feels so much longer than that. Anything in your mouth or on your feet. Brutal. When you hit your elbow just in the right spot, so your whole arm hurts too. Maybe not so much an injury, but I think fits the spirit of the question. Sleep paralysis. The other morning I woke up early. I figured I could sleep another few minutes. As I was dozing off again, it began. Suddenly, I became aware that my body couldn't move and my breathing was difficult. Pins and needles spread starting from my lower back to cover my entire body. I heard my roommate outside in the hallway doing laundry, and tried to call, but it felt like I had a giant lead pipe jammed down my throat and into my chest. In an attempt to wake up, I tried to move, but it was like my body was nailed to the bed, and sharp agony wherever I tried to tense a muscle. Somehow, I felt like I had managed to move forward, smacking my forehead against the corner of my nightstand. I finally managed to push a breath past the blockage in my chest and screamed at the top of my lungs. Desperate to wake up, I ground my head into the sharp edge. My body was on fire, every breath burned my lungs, and I was sure my head had split open. Then, suddenly, it all stopped. Aching and shaking, drawing each ragged breath, my motor function was waking up. Slowly and clumsily, I began to bunch up my body, like a tangled marionette. I hadn't moved an inch nor made the slightest noise. Just the illusion of pain. For the second time that morning. When your hands are dry AF and keep splitting open and cracking. This is incredibly unique, or perhaps I'd just like to think so. One time I woke up to take a crap. It took so long that my entire left leg and foot fell asleep. As I was walking from the bathroom to my bed to go back asleep, it felt that with every step my left leg was stepping onto a bunch of Legos. Getting a live bump on your tongue. Walking your baby toe into something. Smashing your toe on a piece of furniture. Toe stub. Slamming your elbow hard. Standing on a Lego. Or a plug. Cardboard cut. Canker sores. Stubbing your toe immobilizes you while you hop on one foot shouting every swear word under the sun. Also, when you cut the roof of your mouth with a Tootsie Pop. Ingrown anything. Especially toes, a slight bump on anything could be the softest material known to man, and you've entered Dante's Inferno. Kicking a trailer ball on the way by. Little metal splinters while handling tools. A cut under your nail. I got a paper cut from a thick cardboard box right on the bend of my index finger up towards the second knuckle. Pretty much lines up perfect with the fold, so it'll probably never heal. A splinter. A zit just inside your nostril, though not an injury. Cold sore. Always amazed when I look at how small it is, and it's like, why does it hurt so much? Getting up at 3 a.m. to pee and catching your pinky toe on the metal frame of the bed. Waking up with a calf cramp and thinking you're being murdered is number 2. I really dislike the cracks and splits you can get underneath the fingernails. For me, half the time it can feel like some sort of medieval torture method. Paper cuts you only find out about by using hand sanitizer. Anything tooth related. Just take me out back, please. Pinky toe versus any corners. Ingrown toenails or fingernails. How is paper cut / cardboard cut not the top answer? Not that much hurt, but a paper cut. Stings too annoying. Peeling your hangnails. Stubbing one of the smaller toes into a furniture leg. Hurts just thinking about it. A scalpel cut. I was taking the blades off a set at work and accidentally cut the skin between my thumb and finger. They cut so deep that even a small nick is painful. Hitting your pinky against a bedside table / stepping on a Lego piece. Your scooter swinging and hitting your ankle. Cramp in the arch of your foot. Also standing on anything that pokes into that general area. Lego has nothing on an upturned UK plug. Paper cut, hands down. Anything on the webs of your fingers. Cardboard cuts. I used to work for UPS and those were horrible. Just a graze of the ankle bone hitting something metal / like a bed frame. Nothing hurts worse than an ear infection. Any small cut that you didn't know it was there until you applied hand sanitizer or, as a mechanic, accidentally sprayed brake cleaner on it. Stubbing your toe on the bedpost at night. Piriformis syndrome and sciatica injury. Biting your lip / cold sore. Cutting yourself with a razor while shaving a place where skin tends to love. I managed to cut myself under a nostril, and it hurt every time I smile. Toothache. Shin splints and biting off a small piece of your tongue. Sometimes I stub my toenail against the bottom edge of a cupboard. It hurts so bad I'm like I swear this time it fell off, and I'm gonna look down and see a mangled mess of blood. So far, nope. Ironically, I stubbed my pinky toe once in the 6th grade, and it didn't hurt. Except it was dripping blood nonstop, and I only realized it a good few minutes later. Spasmodic torticollis, neck muscle spasms and seizing up, tired face. Never had such a painful car journey, only 3 minutes, to the hospital. Every bump had me in bits. Getting hit in that place in your elbow, and your nerves there just go so numb. Splinter under the fingernail. Paper cuts. Stubbing your pinky toe on something, X10,000 if it's cold. Cut yourself with paper. A graze to your balls, not even a direct hit, sometimes the graze is worse. When you try to sit and unintentionally land on your balls. Hitting your little toe into the couch, or whatever, has to be pound for pound worst pain compared to how mild of an injury it actually is. Splinters. Eating salt and vinegar chips when you have a cold sore. Metal splinters. Skin knee. A wood splinter under your fingernail. I'm cringing just thinking about it. Minor burns, sunburn, or otherwise hurts like a MF. Paper cut right on the webbing between 2 fingers. What's so funny about the funny bone? Stubbing your toe so hard it breaks. Skateboard to the shin. Dislocating your kneecap. March 10th would not recommend. Stubbing your toe on something heavy.